1227 Men's Health, Women's Health bike, how to replace the knob and console. First we're going to remove the left side covers. I'm going to start with this screw here. Keep the screws in a safe place as you take them off, so you know exactly where they go, because they may be different. We're going to go to this screw. At this time we're going to take this cover off, and there's 4 screws here. These ones are different than the other cover screws. Put them together with the cover. Another screw here. And then we're going to go to the right side. There's a cover, there's a screw here. Take that out. And there's another screw down here on this side, but on the right. And there is another screw on the right side cover in this area here on the right. Now we're going to come to the left side again and get the screw that's down here out. Alright, now we can turn the pedal so we can get the cover off. About there. There. Now that frees up the main frame. Alright, at this time we're going to set the tension knob to the highest tension setting so the spring can relax. We're going to cut, be careful cutting this tie strap here so you don't mess up the speed sensor. Now we're going to back out this nut here. Remember where your setting is about, so that when we put the knob back in, you just put it around that area. We will adjust it once it's in. We'll make the fine adjustment. Alright, so the nut that's on the front, loosen it up so that it goes towards the cable. Okay, so that you can pull the cable out and releases through this little slot here. Now you can release the cable from this slot. Alright, now put this spring aside because you will be needing it when you install the new one. Alright, at this time, find a string, a long cable, wire that you have, and take it and tape it to the end of the tension cable. Because this is going to help fish the new cable into the frame and pull it out of the mainframe here. Without this, you'll have take much more time trying to get it out of the mainframe. Okay. I like using some electrical tape. Okay, just like that. And it's pretty long. Use at least something that's like 3 to 4 feet, so you don't lose it inside the machine. Okay, now we're going to remove the console from the main frame. This will expose the knob that holds the tension knob to the main frame. Take the screws, put them in a safe place. Just going to use them again. At this time, you can mark your new console so you don't confuse it with the old one. I'm going to use some blue tape so I know which one is the new one. And I'm going to go to the wires from the console. And this is the 2-wire connection is the speed sensor, and the 3-wire plug is for the knob. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug the speed sensor and plug in the new console's speed sensor plug, and then I'm going to unplug the old console's knob wire and plug in the new one. Alright, now I can go and pull the knob out. So I'm going to remove this screw that holds the knob. Now I'm going to set that aside. Alright, at this time, check your knob, the numbers part, to make sure that it's in the usable range. Turn the knob all the way to the left and make sure it starts at 1 and goes to level 14. That way you know it's aligned. So now, set it aside. You're going to pull the knob off the mainframe. Okay. And you're going to pull the wire that's attached to the console on the other side, and at this time unplug it and plug in the new knob so it doesn't fall into the mainframe and you can't get it out, and then pull out the old knob. You may need to help the wire that you attached to the other side to go through the mainframe. Just pull it out. And there's the end of it. Okay, so now we remove this tape to free up the old wire. So make sure you tape up the end. We went through there because it was getting caught on something. So ones out. I get the end of the cable of the new one. And tape it to the strap or cable that you used to push it through. Fish it into the mainframe. You can have somebody help you pull the strap into the mainframe so it brings the knob up here again. Pull the console side wire so you can pull the knob in, and here make sure that your numbers are aligned proper. Down. Right there, that's level 1. Match it to 1. Again, 14. And then insert the knob into the mainframe again. There. Now we're going to come back to the left side of the machine, and we're going to put the screw back into the knob here to hold it to the mainframe. Now if your hole doesn't line up, you can pry the knob downwards and push it into the frame downwards, and then back in and align your screw. There you go. The knob is attached. I get the console screws that you had set aside and push the console wires back into the main frame. Okay. I'm going to take the tape off here. Drop the screw into the hole. Going in. The other screw into the console. Going into the main frame. Fully tighten that. The knob and the console are back in place. Now we're going to go back to the cable adjustment. Right, now we're going to come grab the end of the cable that we fished through the machine and undo the tape. Now we're going to get this these nuts off of here. Now we're gonna grab the spring and put it over the cable. Now let's go back to this the knob setting. We got to go to, now we're going to get the end of the cable and put this nut up all the way over here. All the way up. Okay. We're going to put the spring on there. We're going to put the knob, make sure that the knob for the cable is at the highest tension so that it gives you more length here to work with. So I'm going to insert the nipple through the bracket there, through the cable, with the cable there, and then pull the spring up against the magnet side of the bracket and pull the whole assembly back so that you can feed the wire into the bracket and let it go. Okay. Alright, now what you want to do is pull the spring back some so that you can feed the nut onto the barrel. Okay, in order to make this easier, once this part of the cable is in place on the bracket, I'm going to remove this cable from the bracket, remove the spring, and start feeding the nut onto the barrel. Just so I can set my adjustment. And that's about where it was when we took it off. Okay, now I'm going to put the tension cable to level 1. I'm going to tighten this part of the cable up some. Okay, there. I'm still got a little bit of ways to go there. Let's see. Level 14, 13, and 12 don't grab the bracket yet. 11 does. Okay, so there. So I'm going to tighten loosen this side up and tighten this side up a bit more. Still make more adjustment. I'm gonna loosen up this side a little bit and tighten up this side until all the levels that I have are working. So that's 14, 13, no adjustment yet. I'm gonna loosen up this side and tighten up this side. 14 and 13, we got some motion there. And just loosen it up a little bit more. And that should be it right there. So okay, so now that I got my levels working, I'm gonna fully tighten this nut down to the bracket. And this side to the right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab the bracket by hand, pull it out, and insert the spring. And I'm going to compress it up against the bracket so I can get it through the bracket there. There and there. That's set up now. That's how you get the console and then knob put in. Now you can go ahead and put all your covers back on. Installation is the reverse of removal. And one final point here. You gotta get this zip tied back together so that it doesn't flop around and cause any interference problems with the pulley. Just tie this down together and then cut off the excess. Put that in towards the inside. And that's it.